morning, guys, and it is beautiful. I'm thankful for this. It's 58 degrees, blue sky. The day is going to be sunny. We're finally out of that rainy pattern for a while, and I'm thankful for it because things have just popped. Anyhow, let's talk about what's new in the garden, what I've done this week. What's new is this is my double play doozy, Spirea. It gets 2x4. And this is its third season, and it's never had these blooms that are absolutely just gorgeous. The color is amazing up here. I'm just thrilled with it. This is the first time it's really had good blooms, and double play doozy for small gardens like mine, you can't beat it.
Yeah, but how did we get this plant?
We got this from the garden show up in Mackinac Island 3 years ago. And at the end of the 3 days, proven winners gave everybody double play doozy, and my little quickfire is not in bloom yet. When she blooms, you'll get to see that too. So you're left with all these plants and, you know, goodie bags. It was a great time up on Mackinac Island. And if you ever get a chance to go to any event put on by proven winners or any garden club, go, because you'll always get a plant. So we're going to go down. I'll show you what I've done this week and what's happening. Well, this is my small little, I'd say it's 4x4 little garden plot where I have my garlic, and the rains and the wind were pretty strong this week. And you can see what's happened to my long neck garlic. I think it's going to be fine. It's just been blown down. And because I've never...
It's about time to harvest, isn't it?
What I've learned about that's a good question, is with your long neck garlic, you wait until you see at least 3 brown leaves on the stalks. That'll tell you that it's time to dig them, because what that tells you is the covering that's over your bulb that's under the ground, it is also deteriorating, and you don't want it to go past 3 layers. That's what I got out of it. So whenever I see a little more browning of the leaves, then whenever that happens, it could be a month from now or sooner, but that's what you keep an eye on. But anyhow, I think it's going to be fine. The other thing is my Swiss chard looks a little puny. This was some old seed. I don't know if that's it. I've always had success. That's okay. You know, you don't, not everything is successful. If you've grown it forever and ever, then it doesn't work. It's like that one year I grew the garlic and it didn't work. So, but back here in my little plot, these are my banana peppers. I have about 4 of those, and these are the little lunchbox mix, which are the little mini red and yellow bell peppers. And this is hillbilly tomato given to me by a friend, and I've never grown it. It is an indeterminate, so that means it'll continue to bloom and produce throughout the season. It'll get very tall, and I'll keep it staked. But I came in just a couple days ago because there's any kind of bug. I don't know what bug was eating on it, so I just got some spinosad and mixed it with water and gave everything a spray back here. So keep an eye on your plants. And it looks like it's doing pretty well. I haven't noticed any new bug bites.
Looks like there's a little flower right there on that one.
A flower? Oh, yeah. All right. I hadn't seen that. Yay. And there's, I can see, oh, good. I can see a little pepper. It pays to get this close up and personal with your vegetable garden. But anyhow,
take a look sometime.
So keep an eye. That's probably a squash
plant. Find out what's going on.
I do walk through my garden, but I don't get that close. Look at this. This is what I want Regucci to do. Take over the vine next to my iceberg rose. Isn't it? That's that romantic look I like around this rose. And this rose, it will get another fertilizing once all the blooms are done. But I can see some new buds on it. It's been so pretty. Thankful for that. So behind us, Reg, what I love, don't you love it when your gardens, when you can get something to reseed itself? So this is the larkspur that came up from seeds from last year. I tried some winter sowing. They didn't develop this year. But look at this wonderful surprise. The colors here are dynamic. Rose Campion still like absolutely gorgeous. I love that bright pop of color. My Lythrum has started to bloom too, which is going to be the lovely pinks and purples that I love. The other thing I've done this week is I started cleaning up the dead foliage from your daffodils and cleaning back my irises. Um, any of the yellowing stems from those, I cut off and clean up the plant. But what I've done too, in this border where there were daffodils and they've died back, I picked up some beautiful chartreuse color coleus. Can't remember the name of it. If I think of it, it'll go on the screen, to give this little boost of color. And then I have a picture of the border of a garden where they have taken their forget-me-nots. The forget-me-nots are these pretty little blue flowers, which I have several, but I divided my forget-me-nots and I have placed them throughout the border so that next spring this will look like a cloud of beautiful blue flowers. And then when it's through flowering, when you cut them back, the foliage stays nice and green, so it'll be a lovely little ground cover too. But I love how that looks. And then the zinnias, they are blooming so much sooner than usual. I love it though. These are my little lily pits. So we're going to see some blooms sooner than later, which that's why you start seeds indoors, so you can get a little flush of color. I planted some giant zinnias throughout the garden, and they haven't come up yet. So you don't always win the battle about stuff like that. I want to show you something else that just, I get excited when I can find these little plants that show up on their own. These are my cleomes. And now this is a nice big one, but when I look throughout my garden, I can see them everywhere. They're like your foxgloves that they will reseed themselves. Just shake a few in there, walk away, and then you go out in your garden on like a day like this past week, and you start hunting to see if they're coming up, and they are. So talking about the foxgloves, I'm going to get in here and hope not break any blooms off. What I do with the foxgloves, I will let this continually dry, and then I'm not going to bend that, but I will bend them down like that, keep the foliage, and let the seeds just dry and drop on the ground, because I like how they just return blooming. So we'll have that happening here. And then right beside it is this beautiful, lovely knockout rose. Love it. It's multi-petaled. This is amazing rose to have. I tell you, it just blooms and blooms and blooms all season long. You don't have to deadhead it, but I do come in because I like things a little more tidy. But this beautiful knockout rose, amazing.
You've got some scapes on your daylilies right there beside you.
Yeah, I know. I have noticed that all of my daylily scapes are coming up, and I've noticed my gosh, we'll be doing that too. We need to cut back some asters to control them a little bit. Get that done the end of May, which it is 1st of June. I've come in and cleaned up all of my peonies, cleaned them up, taken off all the dead, and it's been basically just a cleanup. I did move. The other thing I did is I moved my Giles Van Hess Veronica, that tiny little miniature Veronica, to the front of the border so you can see it better. The other thing you can see how nice my hydrangea there, the invisible limetta right there in front of the grasses, since I did braid it up, they have gotten the light they need and it's doing spectacular. Just love it. Love, love, love. The other thing in the shade garden, let's take a walk over here. We have, you can see the coloration on the astilbes starting. Look at this. We've got the reds, the whites. It won't take it long.
One of my favorite flowers.
I know.
Astilbe, I love it.
And then in this light, look at that eastern redbud leaf. It is so prominent now with its heart shape. I just think it's spectacular. This beautiful shade of this astilbe, the Zephyrin Druin. Look at those bouquets of blooms. And it too will put on another flush of bloom later in the season. Throw a little fertilizer, it'll be great for it. I noticed that my my steed holly is doing beautiful. It's got some new growth on it. I put a few little begonias in there, to little pop of color, bring the pinks, But anyhow, I also took time, trimmed up what I call or Lisa calls the fern forest. And you'll notice as Reggie comes through here, there's a sign we have placed. And that's because the June 7th and June 8th is is Reggie's art open house. And the garden will be open for people to stroll through. The good news is there will be another garden that's going to be open to anyone who comes that wants to walk through my garden. We can walk through another garden. So it'll be fun for us gardeners. But to be able to walk through and see all of Reggie's art, to touch, feel, look around, it'll be a fun time. So it's on June 7th, it's from 4 to 8. And on Saturday, June the 8th, we're from 11 to 4.
11 to 5, honey.
Oh, 11 to 5.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Well, what's the number out?
I'll be getting hungry. Anyhow, come join us. There will be signs about parking. For those who aren't familiar with Kitson Street, it's a little dead-end street, a gorgeous neighborhood. Trust me, all the neighbors we will contact face-to-face and let them know there may be a few cars on the street. And they're always invited. We'll have nibbles, we'll have drinks. It'll be a really nice affair. And Reggie's been putting together playlists, not only what he likes, but what I like. So come join us next weekend for the garden, not the garden, but the art open house, and stroll through my garden and another. So thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. We'll see you the next time.